Something happened recently in America, and I think it relates to guru and disciple, and I want to put it together for you and help you understand how this works. Recently, there were some polls, and they took one of the Democratic candidates and posted him against Trump. And this candidate had a much higher margin than Trump, so Trump would lose. That's the poll, the prediction that he would lose against him. So Trump, true to style, said, that's fake news. That's how he writes off things that he doesn't want to hear, or that don't fit within his reality. This couldn't be true because he's such a great person. So then he had his own White House. The White House is the cabinet around him, the people that he hired or appointed, do their own polls. And they came up with the same miserable results. And you know what he did? He didn't like the results, so he fired them. They didn't come up with the results that he wanted. They just came up with the actual poll. They didn't shift it or change it or skew it. They just came up with a poll, and he fired them. So that would be like going to your doctor. Your doctor tells you have such and such a disease, and you don't like that disease. You don't want to have that disease. So you just fire your doctor. And because you have no doctor now, you have no disease, right? Well, it's something like that. So then of course, obviously insane. And we as Americans, we live through a lot of this insanity. But it like hits me in the face. I'm confronted with it living in America all the time. It's just all over the news. And some things like this they're so ridiculous. And so I have to try to make it Krishna conscious. So what's the Krishna conscious connection? So I was thinking that in a similar way, as it's difficult for Donald Trump to hear certain news because it doesn't fit in his reality, sometimes it's difficult for a disciple to hear instructions of their guru certain instructions, because it doesn't fit within their reality. And sometimes subconsciously, we erase those instructions or deny those instructions or say, well, my guru said that, but he didn't really mean it, or it was contextual, or it's not really true. And if I talk to him, he'll understand it, and et cetera, et cetera. And some of those things may be true, and none of them may be true. And so don't have the Trump tendency to deny reality because you don't like it. And I've often said, if there's an instruction from your guru that you quote unquote don't like, that's a red flag already to not like it. But rather than say I don't like it, just say I don't understand it, or I don't understand the context, or I don't understand the intention behind it. But to write it off and fire your guru, so to speak, you don't fire your guru, but you could fire some of the instructions. I don't like this instruction and that instruction, so let's just take those instructions and we'll just put them in the fire. Those instructions are fired. I have nothing to do with them. It's a dangerous path. Now, it's not always easy to be a disciple because sometimes you hear instructions which they don't resonate, they don't make sense. You're scrambling in your head to try to understand and figure out. And all I would say is, yes, try to understand and figure out. That's what Krishna consciousness means. Don't say they're wrong. Don't say he didn't mean it. Don't say maybe he didn't understand. Okay, it could be true. But your first reaction is, I don't understand. I need to understand what he meant, why he said that. I need to understand my own limitations because I don't understand this. I thought in another way. Now, obviously, some statements are contextual. Some statements are specific to a certain person. Some statements come from the guru's own specific vision in a particular context and a situation of something that he's trying to do. I understand that. But sometimes it's broader. It's just that a disciple says, I don't agree with that. And that's a dangerous position to have. That's more like a trump. Here's reality. I don't agree with it, so it's fake news, or I fire my pollsters. Don't fire your guru. Do not fire your guru. That's not a good choice. Hare Krishna. In these daily videos, I often bring out topics that are extremely relevant to our daily lives. Topics that may not always be appropriate for a Bhagavatam class, but topics that should be discussed, should be opened up, we should look at, because they are important, they are relevant, and they resonate with a lot of devotees, and they're issues that we all go through and we all face. That's why I do these videos. This is important, and I'd like to share these videos with as many devotees as possible, because I know there are many, many devotees dealing with these issues, because I get letters all the time. And so there are thousands of devotees that are dealing with issues that I speak about every day that are not hearing these videos. And you can help by sharing these videos with your friends, liking these videos, and whatever you have to do to get it out. I'm not that Facebook savvy or YouTube savvy, but whatever you have to do to share, I think it will be helpful. I think there are many devotees that need to hear these things. And so if you also agree, then please share these videos with your friends. Share them with your enemies as well. Hare Krishna.